Hello everyone, it's your favorite girl back here again. You should know anytime I come on your screen, I come here to give you tips on how to be a very successful farmer. And in today's video, I'll be telling you crops that you can grow short term and you will get your return of investment 100%. Stick right there. If you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and come back here for more videos like this. As the name implies, short term. Short term crops are crops that their maturation dates are from 2 to 6 months from planting to harvesting. To make it easier for all of us in this video, I am going to classify these crops according to their families. But first off on my list, I'll be starting with the vegetable farming or the horticulture farming. In the vegetable farming has to be one of the farming that is very lucrative, because vegetables are high in demand. They are very high in demand. I'm talking of the likes of cucumber, pepper, tomatoes, and all that in that family. The very first one on my list is going to be cucumber. If you're looking for a crop that is going to give you that very fast money that you need, that easy money that you need within a very short period of time, in most cases, the maturation of cucumber takes 45 to 60 days, depending on the species you planted. It takes 45 to 60 days. Cucumber farming is very sweet though. It's very interesting. It's less stressful, but you just have to do it right and do it at the right time. That is when you can get your 100% return in cucumber farming. When is the right time to plant cucumber? The right time to plant cucumber is during the dry season. I already made a video of what to consider before going into dry season farming. You can go to my previous video and check that out. So cucumber has to be that plant that will give you that money within that very short period of time. If you do it at the right time and if you do it very well, dry season time in Nigeria has to be the best time to cultivate cucumber because they are very high in demand. Only for those that have irrigation in their farm. That is why I said go back to watch my video about dry season farming. And the second one on my list has to be pepper. Pepper has to be one crop or one commodity that is very high in demand. This crop is very high in demand because a lot of people consume it, especially here in Nigeria. You know, we Nigerians, we love spicy food. So pepper has to be a crop that will give you your return of investment 100%. But if you are willing to wait, is a bit longer than cucumber because it takes about 3 to 4 months to maturation date. So you need to be patient. You need to invest for that 3 months before you start getting your returns. And trust me, within 3 to 4 months in harvesting in your pepper, you should be able to cover up your expenses. I mean the minor expenses and not your capital. But in cultivating pepper during the dry season, you need to be very vigilant, especially when it comes to pests. Your pest control should be on a very high level for you to get whatever you want. You need to have a good farm management for you to do well in pepper farming during the dry season. If talking about the return of investment potential of pepper, the return of investment potential is very high. In the horticulture section or the vegetable section, this has to be my top best. There are so many other ones, but this has to be my top best that you can get your 100% return of investment. Let's go down to the leafy vegetable. Another type of farming that can give you your return of investment or give you that sharp money that you need is leafy vegetables. Leafy vegetables are very easy to grow. They are less stressful. You don't need much work. All you need is just a fertile soil for them to do very, very well. You can go organic, you can do inorganic as well, depending on how you want it to be. The return of investment the return of investment potential in pepper is really high because pepper is a commodity that is, I said it earlier, that pepper is a commodity that is in very high demand. So pepper has to be, the potentials of return of investment in pepper has to be at its peak. In leafy vegetables, there are lots of leafy vegetables, but there is an odogu of leafy vegetables. That has to be ugu, the fluted pumpkin. That is the odogu of leafy vegetables. It is very easy to cultivate. It is very fast. At that 6 weeks, you've started harvesting your ugu already. So this fluted pumpkin has to be a crop that you will plant and you will get your return of investment, but you need to plant it off season. When is the off season? The off season of ugu has to be the dry season as well. It has to be the dry season as well. During this time, a lot of people don't have irrigation, so it's left for you to have irrigation in your farm and make your money and cash out during the dry season. It's very exciting to cultivate by that time. Trust me, you won't even be able to satisfy your customers if the ugu is done well. So all you just need is a very fertile soil and irrigation. That's all. And the input is really less, so ugu has to be that one crop for me. Okay, another crop that people that tends to give money or give return of investment in a short period of time has to be green. A lot of people consume green. You see how they tie green in the market, so most of the times that green is very scarce. It's still at a very high demand during the dry season. So whatever leafy vegetable you are doing, make sure you go into it during the dry season. You are going to make your 100% return of investment, and you come back here and thank me, oh Farmer IJ, thank you for doing this one. Oh Farmer IJ, thank you for giving me these tips, and I can't wait to welcome you wholeheartedly. Moving on to cereals. Cereals is another side of farming that is very, very lucrative, very, very lucrative. And in cereals, I will give it up for maize or corn, whatever you call it. Corn takes literally 3 months to maturation, and corn is high in demand if you do it very well. But the secret to making more money in corn is a game of numbers. It has to be a game of numbers. The more you do it, the more money you tend to have. So if you're going to do corn, make sure you do it in a very large quantity and you will get the amount of money that you want. But it is very advisable to get your return of investment in corn. For corn or for maize, a lot of people do it during the rainy season. For people that don't have irrigation, they do it during the rainy season. So it's still okay. If you do it even the rainy season, you're going to get your money back. You know, corn is very high in demand because lots of people demand for corn, companies, for making feeds, even for human consumption. So corn has to be that crop that will give you the money you want if you do it well and you have a very good farm management. So let's progress to roots or tuber crops. You know, we are looking for short-term crops. A root or tuber crop that can give you that money you want within a short period of time has to be sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are very short. They are easy to grow, but they still have their own problem. So you need to be very careful. You need to have the right farm practice for you to do it well. And it's not really advisable doing the sweet potato in the middle of rainy season, like at the peak of rainy season, because rain might tend to spoil it and make it rotten underneath even before you harvest. So it's advisable you plant it at the beginning of the rainy season when the rain is not so much. That is when you're going to maximize your profits. If you've watched to this point of this video, and I have very very important tip to give you. This has to be a very special package for those that watched till this point. Not because I said you should plan this, plan that, plan this, plan that. You should just go ahead, invest your money and expecting the returns to come from nowhere. No, 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 no. There are some very helpful tips that will help you to maximize your return of investment, that will make your money not to go down the drain. There are some things you consider even before doing all these things. The very first thing to consider is your market, because the market is the reason why you are going into this. You won't be the one to eat what you produce, others will eat what you produce. So make sure you source your market. Check for commodities that are very high in demand, very very high in demand. It will help you navigate or know what you really want to do. And the second one has to be proper irrigation. If you're doing it during the dry season, if it's a crop you want to do during the dry season or the off-season period, you need to make sure your irrigation is put in place. I already made a detailed video on irrigation when I talked about the farming during the dry season. So if you haven't watched that, just go back and watch that video so you will follow more on this. Another very important step has to be very good farm management. That is the heart of the whole thing. You can go to market, have irrigation, have everything put in place, right fertilizers, but you don't have a good farm management. That is, you failed woefully. I mean, you failed woefully. So even before you've done all your research or whatever you are doing, you need to invest in your skills as well. Your skills is a very aspect of this everybody needs to put interest in. So make sure you have the right farm practice, and you will see you're going to get your return on investment 100%, I promise you. And for those that will be cultivating crops that will need storage, like the corn, please make proper arrangements for your storage. It is very very important, so that you're not going to waste your money, you won't waste your investment. Make sure you make proper arrangements for storage, and it's going to go well for you. I'm glad I was able to tell you all this, because our goal here and what we come here to do is to make sure everybody is successful on this journey. It was a nice time having you here, and make sure you come back here once we post videos like this to see what we have for you. Remember, we come here with only premium content. I still remain your favorite farmer, Farm with IJ, the queen of agriculture. Have a lovely day.